Okay, here we are, coming. We're following the signal flow. Where does the cable go? I'm building mystery right now, suspense. Hey, we have a GH3 Lumix camera. It's a DSLR, which is a type of camera that could be used for still photography, but also for video. This one is pretty well known in the field as being good quality for low budget. And that's what we wanted for our department. We had a certain amount of money, and this is good. Professionally right now, this is the GH3. They have gone on to the GH4. The GH5 is out there, and I think I've heard talk about the GH6. But depending on how high you can go, it's been a pretty decent camera, and I see it being used for professional work. And like in our department, Dr. Brady is the one who did the research and decided on going with these cameras, and he's used them for his documentaries, and he's won Emmy Awards with them. So with this camera, what we're thinking about with live streaming is how to stream live video from it. That's something I learned as I was getting into it. Not all DSLRs are able to stream live video effectively. And one of the reasons is, first of all, is do they have an output of just the capability to output a video signal? Not all of them do. Then those that do have the ability to output a live video signal, do they do clean HDMI? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Can you take notes on this? Because I'm going to ask you to either take a picture of your notes, or if you take them on computer, send them to me, so that in addition to the video, I can just piece together your notes and create like written instructions as well. And we'll create a checklist. So make sure your camera has video output suitable for live streaming. And part of that is depending on what kind of computer you have. Does it, what kind of input does your computer take? Do you need Thunderbolt? Do you need USB 3? My computer takes Thunderbolt or USB 3. I'm using a MacBook. And then the output on this camera, fortunately, I found has HDMI. So I'm going to look here. But it's HDMI mini. And then it also has, there's another output, I can't see exactly what it is, but HDMI mini. And so what I ended up having to do was get an adapter for an HDMI cable. So there's HDMI. So this goes two different kinds of inputs. And I've attached that to my HDMI cable. So I had to go out and research and find an adapter for this camera. So the university camera, but my own adapter. And then I needed an HDMI cable. I have like a 6-foot cable, which was good just if I was teaching, sitting with the camera just a little bit far away from me. But when I started using this for doing streaming fitness classes, I need a cable that was longer so that I could back the camera way up. So I ended up going to, this one was from Menards, and it's a 50-foot cable, and it was not as expensive as I thought. I think it was like $30 to $40 for a 50-foot HDMI cable, which is a pretty good price. As I was researching HDMI cables, I found that there are two different kinds. There's active and passive. And I'm not going to explain them here, but that's something to put in your notes. Just research what is the difference between active and passive HDMI. I even went to the theater and said, hey, guess what? I saw some of the tech people and said, I found HDMI cable, because we were talking about with COVID, a lot of the supplies for streaming video are just out. You're ordering stuff and it isn't in stock anymore. I ordered just recently a wireless mic system that's nice and portable for doing live streaming. And I ordered it from Sweetwater Music, which oftentimes, if I place the order online, it's like at my door 2 days later. And I ordered it maybe 2 weeks ago, and it hasn't even shipped yet because they're on back order. So with HDMI cables, I was thinking, well, if they need them, I saw that Menards had them. And the first question was, well, are they active or passive? And these are not active. And they're like, oh, we need the active kind. But what I have here, for long distances is where active is going to make the difference. It helps keep your signal stronger for longer distances. Other differences, look it up. So 50 foot, this cable worked pretty well. Okay, so we're running the gauntlet, following the signal flow, we're going through the HDMI cable. Then I have to look at the inputs on my computer. And for this MacBook, there is an HDMI port on my MacBook, but the thing with HDMI on a MacBook is it's output only. You can't feed an HDMI signal into the computer through it, which was a bummer. I'm like, and I did searching for like an hour or two, like, is there any way I can, like, I got an HDMI cable. Is there any way I can just plug the HDMI cable into my Mac and have it input? And it's like, nope, HDMI is output only. It's just for display. So what else do I have? I have a USB 3 port. I have a slot for an SD card. And then on the other side, I have another USB. I have a couple of Thunderbolt inputs, and then my power. So Thunderbolt or USB is really what I needed. So I did research to find what can convert an HDMI signal into Thunderbolt or HD, Thunderbolt or USB. Something else I forgot to mention. Oh, with the output of the camera. I have to jump back. I was getting to this point and got into describing something else. So it had an HDMI output, which was good. But the second point was, you have to see whether the HDMI output is clean. And what that means is, when you turn on a camera, you can get a display. Oops, I'm looking at the back of the screen going, why isn't it displaying anything? So you won't see it here, but maybe you can see it in my phone. You get all these things like, what's the aperture, what's the volume, what are these other things? And sometimes all that information comes out through the HDMI, and you can't get out of it. So instead of just seeing a clean signal, you're seeing all the camera settings and things like that as you're streaming it. So I had to look through this camera and find out, does it put out a clean HDMI signal? Can I put out an HDMI signal with all that stuff? And it turned out there was a setting that I had to go into the menu, and I could find the setting that says, I can't even remember what it was, but it was, yeah, output the clean HDMI signal. Okay, so we got HDMI output. We have a clean signal, which is a good start. So then, how do we get it into the MacBook? What I found online that has became popular is Camlink 4K. And I'll hold it up here. This was like a Camlink 4K, and it's probably not the highest quality thing that you can have, but I'm trying to remember the price. Somebody can look up the price, but for $100 or $200 or something like that, maybe $300, it would convert HDMI to a Thunderbolt signal. And so then I'm able to plug that in. Oh, actually, this is USB, sorry. Converts it to USB. Okay, so now we got the signal going from the camera, HDMI, convert it to a USB signal, and then plug it into USB. Okay, just a word about converting HDMI to a signal that your computer can use. This Camlink, by the way, it's made by, the brand is Elgato, which is kind of fun because I think that means cat, doesn't it? See, which just makes me smile. The reason I'm saying that this could be lower quality is because oftentimes, like when we set up the system in Reynolds Recital Hall, we had to buy an encoder. We had to see how are we going to encode the camera signal into something that the computer can process and stream. And those encoders were in the thousands of dollars to kind of do the same thing that this CamLink is doing. And so this is like a quick and easy way of doing it. But if you want like full, and then it says it's 4K, so I got to do more testing. But there's definitely going to be a difference there's got to be a difference between this, a couple $100 converter versus thousands of dollars for a regular professional video encoder. So once you get the video signal coming into the computer, the next thing that can take a little bit of work is getting the computer to recognize the signal. Most of the time with this Mac, the CamLink 4 has been pretty good. When I pull up Zoom, it just recognizes, hey, do you want to use your computer camera or do you want to use CamLink? And I can select CamLink and the video comes right up, which has been good. Times when it hasn't come up, sometimes it's because the camera battery is dead or the lens cap is on. But other considerations. Audio is a consideration. I will actually go over here. For Zoom, you have some different audio settings. And right here I have a Pro Tools system hooked into this computer, so I could use the microphone for that, which is often what I use for my own teaching videos. I'll have an interface. Let's see where the interface is. This M-Box is an interface. This takes a signal from your microphone and does kind of like what the CamLink does. It converts it into a computer signal so that you can plug it in through USB. So it's analyzing all the analog audio from your microphone, converting it into a computer system. There we are. And then sends it into your computer. And it'll give you the ability to select. If that was actually plugged in, it would show up as M-Box. That's the kind of unit it is. And the Macs, at least my Mac, has been good at just saying, hey, do you want to use your built-in microphone into your computer, or do you want to use the audio from the M-Box? And so, like, when I want the teaching to sound good, because like if I just use like the microphone on my computer on my laptop, when I start typing, you hear click, 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 click real loud. When my fan on my computer comes on, then you hear this whirring sound, and it's just distracting, and the audio isn't very good. But if I can set up a nice microphone, and remove it away from all the computer sound and get it closer to my mouth, you're going to get better sound. For teaching fitness classes, one of the biggest things was getting high quality music. So I tried a number of different things of, okay, what if I have a microphone in front of the speaker? Not great. What if I just let the music play? Some people will stream, like they set up their phone and stream through their phone, and just the music comes out of the speaker and into their phone, and that's not great. Zoom especially has built-in features that will just cancel out the sound if it gets too loud. Zoom is optimized for voice, meaning that it knows what frequency range our voices are in, and it tries to block out all kinds of background sound. So if you're trying to do music through Zoom, it says, that doesn't sound like voice. If you got the low bass into the high treble, it just starts compressing all of that and blocking it out. And I was in one fitness class, and the music just kept dropping out for sometimes 20 seconds at a time, which was a dance fitness, which you're like, okay, how do you move to the music if you can't even hear it? I have a separate video on this because people were asking. Uh-oh. But some of the things that you can do with Zoom settings, you can go to Preferences, go to Audio, and suppress background noise. What you can do is, thought there was an option to take that off. But if you go to, here we go. If you go to Advanced, go to Auto Cancellation. Man, it's not giving me an option there. There should be a way to turn off echo cancellation. So I'm going to have to go back to my other video that I did. But there are some settings that you can do in order to take that off. It's called original audio. Use original audio is what you want to get to, where it doesn't compress it as much. I'll link to the other video. The other thing that I found that what you need to do, like if you want to just like have good quality music going out to your people, is and this is something that those settings that I was showing you, like when people keep saying, "Hi, I need to do music lessons," or "I want to perform live on Zoom. What do I do?" So those settings, again, I'll give them to you. But if you're playing music from your computer, if you go to Share Screen and go to Advanced Sharing Options, there we are. And then, so it's just Share Screen, but then there's Advanced up here. And you click on Advanced, and then Music or Computer Sound Only. Then you hit Share. Oops. Administrator name and password for this Mac Lab computer. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, when you do that, what it does is it's like sharing your screen, except it's going to take the music straight from your computer and just stream it out through Zoom. And then it doesn't have to get converted through different microphones, and so you can have high quality music that doesn't drop out. Just like as I'm playing Every Breath You Take by The Police on here, you'd have high quality music. So there's the audio considerations. Other audio considerations are the amount of time that the video takes to get from your camera to your computer versus the amount of time that it takes your audio, from your computer to get combined. Sometimes it's called muxing, into a single signal and sent out. Sometimes they can get out of sync, so you need to check the sync of your video and audio. We tried different things with different cameras, different microphones, different setups, and there were times when, definitely the lip sync is off, or you're trying to move to the beat or strum along and it doesn't match up. But the setup that I have here has been pretty close. Okay, so video and audio, things to think about. Getting good quality audio, syncing the audio and the video. And again, a lot of troubleshooting because each system is a little bit different. Each processor runs at different speeds. Okay, so now that we've thought about video and audio, one of the things that you got to consider is, do you want, how are you going to stream this? And you just need to have a good internet connection, because no matter how good the quality coming into your computer is, it's also affected by how much data you can send out. So if you're just streaming through Wi-Fi, you're not going to have a lot of bandwidth, and you may end up degrading the quality of your streaming. If you can get an Ethernet connection, a Cat 6 cable or Cat 5e, then that's going to give you better bandwidth. You can stream out more data per second into, directly to the internet, so it'll send out higher quality video to your viewers. It's also, when there are problems, it's not always on your end. It could be the problem at the viewer's end. So sometimes it's good to give your viewers a checklist of things that they can do to improve video quality. So with the fitness classes, say, clear out your floor, get a space prepared, but also think about the sound system. I've seen the sync get off, even if your sync is good, going in, transmitting. If they're listening through Bluetooth, what they see on their phone, by the time it reaches their Bluetooth, that can throw the video and audio out of sync. Also, the quality or the bandwidth coming into their houses makes a difference. So if there are people who are watching on Wi-Fi, one of the recommended things to tell them is, hey, look for others in your household who are also using the Wi-Fi router, and if you really want higher quality, then ask them to not use the same Wi-Fi router or the bandwidth while you're using it. When we have people who are streaming, maybe when you guys are zooming from your classes from home, and you're getting that signal that says, unstable internet connection, it's possible that might just be you have other people using the bandwidth from your wireless router, and you say, hey guys, can you stop the Netflix for a minute while I'm having class, because I need to transmit my video and receive video. So it's you transmitting, but it's also the bandwidth of the people receiving that you gotta to think about. A lot of this is common sense, but when you're in the moment of trying to set everything out and you're just rushing out the door and trying to get to the place and start streaming, you forget things. So having a checklist like this can really help you. Here's what's recommended if you're going to use a USB hub. And so I did some searching. This one is Anchor, and I'm pretty sure it was from a Pro Tools website that I knew I wanted to plug in my USB interface. So that's another thing. If I need to plug in the USB interface into this to get high quality information, I only have 2 USB ports, so I'd plug that in there. There we go. And then coming around. So I plugged my camera in. I plug my USB interface for a microphone if I have that. And then this needs power, and my laptop needs power so I don't run out of battery. So then I also need to bring handy dandy power strip. All right, and then I can plug in my USB hub. I can plug in the USB hub with the camera and the external drive, and then the audio interface. Plug that into the USB hub, plug that in to the computer, plug this into the power, plug my computer into the power strip, and then I need to plug the power strip into something, and it's always inevitable that wherever you go there isn't an outlet where you need it to be. So like in my car, I have like coils and coils of extension cables that I just carry with me because they come in handy. You never know. You never know. And you got to have the power. So final setup. You have the DSLR camera, output HDMI, converts it to a normal HDMI cable to here, and then to an adapter that will convert the HDMI signal to USB. Then we have the hub where we can have our external drive for storage and the audio interface if we want to hook up a microphone. That would plug into the USB on the computer. And then we're going to have power for the computer, and then good internet connection that we hook into, whether it's with Ethernet cable or strong Wi-Fi. I've been able to use okay as well. And then prepping your people at home so that they can get a good signal as well. Thank you. Happy streaming. Stream on.